In this video, I'm going to give you some pointers for the Mission Bay Classic coming up this weekend. Then I'm going to take you on the water and show you what's been working for me as recently as last week. And I have some exciting announcements coming up that you won't want to miss, so let's go. Hey, it's Roman, welcome back to the channel. It's great to have you here. If this is your first time here and you want to become a better angler, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that bell notification so you don't miss anything. If you're a freshwater angler and this is one of the few times you actually come out to the saltwater and fish Mission Bay, it's going to be fun, and I'm going to give you some pointers to avoid that skunk. Alright, tip number one. Tip number one is, of course, everybody knows that fish relate to structure, and everybody that's going to be fishing Mission Bay for the first time is going to be fishing the spots where they can see structure from above the surface. But what a lot of freshwater guys don't know is that the spotties, these little bay bass, they love the eelgrass. So if you're looking for structure on the surface, you're kind of approaching it the wrong way, because everybody's going to be hitting those spots because that's the most obvious place to fish. So you're going to have a better chance to look with your sonar and find the eelgrass. Sometimes if the day's clear enough, you'll be able to see the eelgrass. Look out, if you have polarized glasses where the water gets a little bit different color, you'll see the sand and the eelgrass. Fish the eelgrass. That's where you're going to find them. It's going to seem like you're fishing in the middle of nowhere, but it's just look for the eelgrass and you have a way better chance of catching these little guys. All these little patches of grass, they're going to have less pressure than all of the structure around you you'll be able to see from the surface. So that's good. Tip number one. Tip number two is to maintain bottom contact. So, and when I say bottom contact, I mean you want your lure to be dragging through the sand or dragging through the eelgrass. If you're going to drag it through the sand, I prefer it would be dragging through the sand near some eelgrass, so that way the little spotted bay bass have a chance to like come after it and ambush it as it swims by the eelgrass sand transition, right? So you find the eelgrass, fish parallel to it, make your lure swim through like the sand, and then, or like not swim, but like bounce along the floor, and that's going to give you a better chance of getting these spotted bay bass. I think 80% of the fish I've caught in Mission Bay have been on retrieves where my lure's on the ground, so or in the eelgrass. So that's tip number two. Tip number three kind of has to do with tip number one. Since you'll be fishing in the eelgrass, so that's where the spotties that's where these spotties live. Make sure you have a weedless setup. You could fish a bare hook jig or like whatever bait, but you'll waste a lot of your time in taking the eelgrass off your hook and casting out. So try to find a weedless option, and that's gonna help you fish. That's gonna help you get more line in the water time, right? So, which means more fish. So fish weedless, and if you do happen to snag up on some eelgrass and you pull it up, you bring it up, don't just take it off and throw it. Look at it. If it's green, you're probably in the right zone. If it's brown, I would move on to find a different patch of eelgrass, because green eelgrass makes oxygen and brown eelgrass is decaying. Therefore, it's actually creating CO2, so it's taking oxygen out of the water. So where would you like to live, right? You're an oxygen breathing creature, so are the spotted bay bass, so you want to be in the green grass. So fish the green grass, avoid the brown grass. If you don't have the experience fishing jigs, or you don't feel comfortable fishing jigs, then I would do a drop shot with like a 1 foot to 1.5 foot leader, tag between the hook and the weight, and that would put you right in that striking range. I would still fish it through the eelgrass, and just adjust the height of your lure relative to the weight, so that you're just above the eelgrass. It's okay if the weight goes through the eelgrass, as long as your lure's up here. It's a nice little target for the spotted bay bass to ambush. And with that setup, you might even catch some halibut. Tip number four is to remember that these spotted bay bass like to group up. If you catch one spotted bay bass, be mindful of the drift and where you were when you caught the fish, because you want to go back to there. Once you do the whole process of measuring the fish and taking a picture, you want to go back to that same spot and fish that same area, because these fish, as from my experience, they like to group up. So you can fish the whole bay and then find them in a little pocket somewhere, and then you could just slay them all day there. I wouldn't go fish anywhere else until I've casted there at least, I don't know, like 4 or 5 times and haven't gotten any bites. So keep fishing that same zone until you don't get any more bites. Because remember, one of the common sayings in fishing is don't leave fish to find fish. Alright, so that was tip number 4. Tip number 5 is, oh, it's not 10, number 5. Tip number 5 is to make sure and you revive these fish before you let them go. Especially if you're in this tournament, you're going to have to handle the fish, you're going to have to put them on the hawk trough or measuring device, and that is a lot of stress for the little fish. He's already fought you all the way to the boat, plus you're going to be handling it, you're going to be holding it down on the board to measure it and take a picture. That's a long time, so make sure you take the extra minute or two to hold the fish, revive it through the water, like make it swim a little bit through the water, get some water flowing through its gills, until it feels like it's gonna take off on its own. And if it just takes off, that's good. It means it took off and it's oxygenated again. But yeah, make sure you please revive your fish before you release them. That way that we can maintain a healthy fishery and we can keep fishing spotties like all the time, like I love to. So, and like you probably love to. All right, so that's tip number 5, and that's kind of, I guess that's more like a a request than anything else. So let me give you an actual tip number 5. Okay, here it goes. If you've been fishing freshwater and you haven't fished spotties before or salty bass before, these guys have teeth. So they're not like largemouth bass. They have like a little bit of, it almost feels like sandpaper on the largemouth bass. They have what might be considered teeth, but not teeth like spotted bay bass and sand bass do. So I know it's frowned upon to use a rag, or like me, I use my shirt. It's like I call it shirt lipping. It's bad. I know it's like against protocol, against fishing etiquette, or whatever you want to call it. But to me, the way I look at it is, I'd rather have control over the fish and be able to safely remove the hook and not drop a fish on my kayak. And especially if you're fishing like an A-rig or something like that, right? You drop a fish with an A-rig or like a crankbait, then you have a weaponized floppy fish. So I could hook you in the leg, hook you in the arm, so I could hook you in the leg, hook you in the hand. So for me, it's less stress on the fish if I just shirt lip it, have good control over it. I keep it vertical. That way, all the pressure on its jaw is is this way, and if I hold it up horizontal, I use my other hand for support, right? So you never want to hold it up horizontal with just a lip because you'll break its jaw, right? So I hold it up like this, vertical, and then I have control over it because I'm not worried about it jacking at my thumb with its teeth. I have my shirt in there or like a little rag, and then I remove the hook, use my pliers if I need to, but I have complete control. The fish isn't flopping around. And at that point, I would take the picture of the hawk trough and revive it and let it go. So anyway, that's tip number 5. More like a bonus tip / suggestion / warning. Make sure you realize that these fish have teeth. So otherwise, you're gonna end up with some awesome bass thumb. I'm not against bass thumb. I think bass thumb is cool like everybody else, but it's just not for me. Alright, so now we're gonna jump into some footage from me fishing Mission Bay last week, so you guys can see some of the retrieve speeds and some of the baits that work for me. There's more stuff coming up after we fish Mission Bay, so make sure you keep watching. I'm gonna show you how you can get a free download with 25 fishing tips I put together.
Look at that behemoth.
Look at that baby behemoth.
Oh
yeah. Oh, spilled some water on my face. Woke me up. Woohoo! Woohoo! There's party. Yeah, probably about 12, 13.
Nice, dude.
Dolphins?
No,
oh shit!
Snaps!
That was close to the surface too.
Almost broke your shit.
Ooh. Come on, little Sparty. Spotty number 2. Woo! Yeah. There it is. Spotty number 2. Woo-hoo-hoo. This. Featherweight, a bead, and a worm hook.
No. I think so.
The old school meat. Ooh. Another one. Woo. Oh man. Don't break my A-rig, bro. Spotty number 3. Ooh, look at his spins all jacked up right there. He's mean. He's mad. Alright, so this guy roll. Woohoo! Alright, so now we're catching him on this A-rig. This is a Recon Baits A-rig, guys. It's got a lot of flash. There it is. Now I can finally follow up the video where I set up the combo with the actual fish. So pretty happy with that. No sand bass. Sand bass. Sand bass. Fish splash. Alright guys, we finally caught one on the A-rig. This is a Recon Baits A-rig. I have it with a couple of Recon swim baits here. And this is a war baits head. These are just 1/4 ounce ball jigs, but that's it. Finally caught one on the A-rig. I fished the other one till it broke and I didn't catch anything on it. So yeah, that's a follow up on that video. Woo! Woo! Alright, that was fun. That was one of the few times I've actually fished in the morning. I usually fish later in the afternoon into the night. So it's kind of weird seeing the videos come up as like dark and go to light when I was looking through the actual footage. Anyway, it's pretty... Anyway, it's funny. I'm not a morning person, but I guess to be in fishing, you need to be. Before I tell you how to get these fishing tips, let's go into some announcements. I have some cool stuff coming up. So as you saw in this video, I used a Recon Baits A-rig, and I reached out to the guys over at Recon Baits and asked, I said, hey guys, I'm going to be featuring some of your stuff on my video, and I thought it would be cool if you guys could do something for the subscribers. So I paid full price for my Recon gear, even though on my last order they did throw in a couple of swim baits. So thank you for that, Recon Baits. This is not a paid promo. This is more me reaching out to a vendor that I like, that I'm using, and asking if they could do something for you guys as subscribers. So they said, yeah, we could do something for you guys. So this is what they have for you guys. If you guys are interested in getting anything Recon Baits between 8 p.m. today, which is Tuesday. Between 8 p.m. today, which is Tuesday, April 10th, 2018, through Sunday, April 15th, midnight, I'm going to go with 11:59 p.m. They're going to give you guys 10% off on everything on their store. So that's store-wide 10% off. All you have to do is type in RCV10 at the checkout, and that'll be your coupon code. So if you guys are interested in getting that Recon A-rig, there's the code for you guys, and enjoy. So that's something that I reached out to them about, to hopefully get you some cool perks as a way for me to say thank you for watching my channel and supporting me in my growth, and for sharing videos like this and my content that you find helpful. Before we jump into announcement number 2, I want to let you guys know that if this is your first kayak fishing event and you have no idea how to measure the fish, how to do the hog trough, all that kind of stuff, I do have a series out for first time kayak bass fishing anglers. It's going to walk you through how I set up my hog trough, everything you need to be ready to compete. So that's going to be in a link up here somewhere on the left, I think, on my left. I'll put a link for it here, and I will put a link for it in the description, and you can go to it directly by going to romancastro.com/tourney. There should be a text popping up down here, so check that out if it's your first time doing a kayak fishing tournament. That's going to help you and answer a lot of your questions. Alright, so now let's jump into announcement number 2. Announcement number 2 is that I've been getting a lot. I see the channel growth. I appreciate it. I get messages from you guys here and there, off and on, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, message board, and I want to have a place where we can kind of all have contact, so I can answer. So for example, you have a question, I'll answer your question, and then a couple of days later I might get the same question from somebody else. I want to have that in like a group discussion, so you can see the answer I'm giving to a question you might ask. It'll save me a little bit of time, but also I want you guys that watch my videos to kind of communicate with each other, right? And build our little community, so you guys can fish together. We could set up group events. So that's going to be, for now, on Facebook. I started a group called RCV Anglers. So go on Facebook, look for RCV Anglers, and here's a link for it. You can go to it by going to romancastro.com/anglers group. Yeah, romancastro.com/anglers group, And there it's a private group, so I'm only allowing people that know about it through this video and my email list. That way it keeps it kind of small. At the same time, I want to have a culture in there of like positivity. I'm not looking for anybody in there that's like a professional that wants to be look at me, I'm better than everybody. I want people in there that are willing to learn and are trying to learn and get better at fishing. So that's the culture I want in there. It's going to be positive. I'll teach you guys what I know, you teach me what you know, and we all kind of learn together, and then we go out and have group outings, whether it's shore fishing or mostly kayak fishing probably, but that's the deal. And again, you can join that group, it's free, and it's basically a way for me to build our community up and make sure that you guys have fishing partners that have that same aura of positivity. Alright, so if you enjoyed the tips you watched today in this video, here's how to get 25 more tips. Some of these tips that you saw already are in this 25 fishing tips PDF. But don't worry, there's at least 20 that you haven't seen, hopefully. You'll want to go to romancastro.com/list sign up, and that's going to take you to where you can join the RCV Anglers email list. As soon as you join the email list, I'll respond with the PDF download link, and you'll be able to download the PDF with 25 fishing tips that you could probably use this weekend. So do that. If you want to become a better angler and catch more fish, consider subscribing. Click on the round icon right here. You'll subscribe, and I'll continue to share more tips and insights to help you catch more fish. If you're fishing the Mission Bay Classic, good luck. I'm sorry I will not be able to make it. I had a different plan set up. I kind of double booked, but good luck. It's going to be awesome. I'll talk to you soon.